So, guys, we're gonna interview some really use cases. But first, maybe Michel, the most important question we have right now is: how do you feel about OpenStack?
Yeah, after all
All
the
the
inspirational speakers.
Oh.
So we want to ask now, before the panel discussion, how do you feel about OpenStack now?
and it's really simple. Like you
Yeah.
have a double smiley, you have an how do you say it, ankle? You have
Yeah.
a neutral, you have a
Neutral or
downward smiley, or a I don't really like it smiley.
why am
Okay.
I here?
Okay,
That's,
so it's predominantly a smiley, a little bit. Okay, this is good. This is good, guys. I'm just going to go really quick. What have you, Alan? I'm going to go to you. So the key decision points and drivers that organizations need to consider before they go to OpenStack. Jonathan already mentioned some, but what is it in your view?
Well, so we've talked a lot about the technological needs, but one of the barriers that we're seeing as a commercial entity is the ability for them to adopt it, to deal with it, not only as a technology,
Right.
but company structure, company policies, company culture
Right?
is greatly impacted by this.
But
So some of the, we talked about difficulties.
Yeah.
Some of it is not the technology, some of it is the culture.
Really, Mark? True?
Absolutely.
But we are not culture people.
We better learn how to be.
Really?
Really
Is
good
that
at
Mark's mic can be?
Yeah.
We as technology IT guys and girls.
If we want to bring it into the enterprise, I think we have to influence the culture
Yeah.
in our own organizations and in the rest of the business.
Right, Chris. What's the problem with our understanding of culture then?
There's a great case study that was shared at Austin where they talked about replacing a proprietary cloud technology with OpenStack, and the time to procure a new workload went down. I think it was from 45 days to 40 days. Because what they'd mapped onto it was all the same procurement processes and approval processes.
Right.
Your goal is to help your developers go faster. This is, Mark Andreessen talks about software eating the world. Philips right now, I just installed a Philips light system at home. It's all about software. Help your developers go faster, let them self-service, and make sure that any barrier to them accessing compute, network, and storage is removed. Just replacing OpenStack with the same culture, same procurement processes, no win.
Right.
Change the culture.
All right. Change it. But should we first change the culture and then, or is it the other way around? Start with technology and then try to get the culture going. Jan Willem, what do you think?
I think you need to change the culture as soon as you can, because for a lot of companies, time is running out. If you look at the Fortune 500, the amount of time a company stays on that list nowadays, it's shrinking. It's a shrinking slot of opportunity.
All right.
So if you don't want to be the next Kodak, either move or get out.
Oh, this is it's Kodak. Yeah, right.
Oh, it is.
It's yeah, right. So Matt, do you concur to this?
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm on, but
Yeah.
It's gotten to a point though with regards to the cultures in the companies that we as an IT vendor, we're part of an infrastructure community that's been built over 25 or 30 years. We like this stuff. If you asked me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it would have been hardware, it would have been showing you blades and all these sorts of things. That would have been fun, but the point is, I don't worry so much about competition in the IT space anymore, and I don't say that arrogantly, but I worry about relevance. I worry about the relevance of the IT departments. And so the culture change is really mandatory.
Why are you worrying about everything is becoming IT? So why are you worrying about the relevance of the IT?
Because the IT department needs to offer services that developers want to use.
Right. Yeah. And they're not doing that?
No.
Why is that?
Existing processes, existing viewpoints. They typically viewed the IT estate as silos of infrastructure rather than applications.
Right. Okay. Let's talk to some use cases. I'm going to interview them for 5 minutes. You come up with questions or remarks or say, oh, I've seen that before. You're going to solve that way. Let's see how that works. And you can type in the questions to Michel. That's working just fine right now. I'm gonna just do. I don't. It's. I feel a barrier. So now it's gone. First speaker of today, ladies and gentlemen, he is the CIO at GD Animal Health, in Dutch, de Gezondheidsdienst voor de Dieren. And over 90 years, GD Animal Health have supported industry customers, farmers and other customers by providing animal health programs and laboratory diagnostic services. I couldn't say it better. Jan Smelt. Where are you? Jan, come forward. Jan, good to see you. Good to see you. Did you have a... No, you don't have a microphone. No, right, I'm going to give it to you then. So, please briefly introduce your company.
Well, you did it very well.
Yeah.
By telling those things. We are the animal health service. We're in the Netherlands, stated in Deventer.
Mm-hmm.
And we have customers. There are 40,000 animal holders. But what we do is teaming up for animal health.
Yeah.
Not only for the animal, for the holders, but also for society at large, because it's very important for the diseases from animals and from people.
Yeah.
Like you have by Q fever.
Yeah.
So it's getting more important
But
every day.
what do you do then with the company? What is it? You research the animals, or what is it?
Well, we are monitoring the animal health in the Netherlands. So we have a large laboratory,
Right.
where we see more and more Internet of Things that we have to connect with our databases and our data to predict when the cattle gets a disease.
Right. Okay. So you have a chip in the cow.
Yeah, you have well,
Yeah, a connected cow, not a connected car, but a connected. Oh, this is new. Yeah.
so what you have is feet of the cow.
All right. Feet of cow. Yeah.
Yeah, we can follow the cow
Right. Yeah.
and how it walks.
Yeah. Ah.
We can see if he has a disease, yes or no.
Yes.
I remember that about 10 years ago, there was a HP server, and then one day before it fell down, that it went down. So that we can do with cows.
With cows. Well, that's great. That's great. Yeah. All right. All right. So now I'm making. I'm not
maybe
making
we can
fun.
try it on you.
No.
If
Don't.
No.
The
Okay.
server will burn down. All right. So, do you use OpenStack?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Okay. So when did you implement it? How does it look? What is it?
Well, what we did is what we call in Dutch an aanbesteding. That means a large procedure to select the vendor.
Mm-hmm.
And that what we got is a VMware
Right.
IaaS platform.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know it wasn't flexible enough. And then I met Ben van der Vecht,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, it's all wrong, you have to get OpenStack.
You don't want to hear this.
And what?
I know.
Right.
Maybe I can tell I'm not an infrastructure specialist, I'm from the customer side and software development side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and how do you think it's running right now?
It's running great. We're making step-by-step improvements.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I said is we have continuous delivery in our software development,
Mm-hmm.
and why can't I get that with infrastructure?
Right.
So I want a deployment not every 6 months, I want a deployment every minute. Why can't you do that with infrastructure?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it can be. So I have a dream. I said, I want zero touch, so no one touches this. Because if one man touches the infrastructure, it will go down. And we have 40,000
40,000
people,
cows
customers.
running around, not knowing what to
maybe you
do.
can vote
No.
if I'm wrong or not.
All right. Yeah. No. I'm making fun. So when Ben said you have to do OpenStack, how did your organization react?
Well, my reaction was, what is it?
that kind of reaction.
But I now know it's not OpenStack, but it's all the modules. And then I learned Eric Kessels, and he showed me Juju.
Mm-hmm. I saw that one. Mm-hmm.
And that was my turnaround.
Right.
Because I said, that's what I believe in, automatic deployment of databases, of applications. That's the way we have to go.
All right. So, panelists,
Start that
what do you think when you're hearing Jan talk? Jan Willem or Chris? You have to go to Chris now.
Well, I'm super excited You know, in the industry, we've been talking about the need to treat servers like cattle, not pets. Now I find out that in the Netherlands, you're treating cattle like servers. It's amazing. So I'm curious, how many people do you have helping with the operation?
How many people do you have helping the operation, the infrastructure operation? Yeah.
Well, we're not that large company, so we have 2 people.
Just 2 people.
Because if you develop right, then operations goes down very fast. I was surprised it went down so fast.
Yeah, so cloud is supporting multiple workloads if it goes there. Right. So my second question is, going forward, will all your software development internally be on OpenStack, or will you still use other platforms?
It doesn't end to stop developing self-doing things. So you get many organizations, joint ventures, partners from us, customers. You develop in a co-making way. So I have to be very flexible at platforms. I have a large customer in Ukraine, and they say, I want it on Azure. If you want it or not, there it is. So
Michel.
I have to multi-deploy everything.
You're right.
So that's not a choice, the customer says.
Right, and then you're deployed. Right. Michel, do we have any questions for Jan as well?
Not for Jan in particular.
Not for Jan in particular. All right. So what is your best advice for the audience? They are maybe thinking, well, we should do something with it.
Well, I hear about fear. I hear about knowledge about OpenStack. In software development, we do it in Scrum, and we do it in 2 weeks and deliver something. And I think that's the way to do it. Focus, make small parts of it, and go for it. And when it's painful, you have to do it often.
Only Ruud is applauding very hard. All right, thank you, Jan. Right, very good, very good, very good. Okay, we're going to go for the next. Well, somebody in the panel, Jan Willem? Yeah?
Yeah. Is my mic? Yes.
Yeah.
So it was, Ben came up to me during the break together with Jan to manage the panel, I suppose, because he talked him out of VMware, which isn't an issue, but to make the point, he could have taken a shortcut in getting to value faster by just remaining his infrastructure with VMware, putting OpenStack on top of it, instead of ripping everything out, building a new infrastructure, take a year to do that, and then get the value. So.
Yeah, good rebuttal. I think some coffee would help.
No, I'm very good with Ben. I'm still working on educating.
You're right. So Ben, you will be educated in a short while. Let's go. That's good. Get your diplomas, man. Yeah, really, you should. I'm going to go for the next one. And the next speaker works at Sendris. He's a CIO as well. He's a part of OpenStack.nl. They're very good in telemarketing, customer care. Let's talk to him. Freek Wijtens. Freek, there you are. Good to see you. Hi, Freek. I tried to describe...
My children sent me an app. And they are alone at home, and our dog cannot walk anymore. So Jan was
really, the dog can walk. Jan, can you help his dog as well? Yeah, he isn't walking anymore. All right, we should try it with your children as well. But okay, I see huge opportunities. Right, Freek, Sendris, what do you really do? What is it?
We are a contact center company. We work with 2,000 contact center agents on from different sites. We have also a site in Suriname, and we handle the customer contacts of our clients, mostly large parties in the energy sector or assurance, that kind of branches.
That kind of stuff.
Yes.
Right. And why in Suriname?
It's offshoring, eh?
It's
loans,
cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Yeah,
yes.
right. Okay. Fun. And you're part of OpenStack.nl, aren't you?
Yes.
Right. And you have OpenStack.
Yes, we work with
running really the production facility on OpenStack?
We are starting to do that. On this moment we have 150 seats on OpenStack.
Right.
But we want to do everything, and that's 1,500 seats.
All right. So, and I heard that OpenStack.nl, so the mother company, is on Microsoft Azure. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
So,
We have made our own choice in it. So
Right,
so-
and you're allowed to do that.
And we are allowed to do that, yes. Otherwise, I didn't stand here.
No, but why are you allowed to do that? Because what it seems, somebody said, well, we need a vision and then we're going to transform. And this is, the mother company has a vision, it's not your vision, and
Yes.
you're going to do it differently.
But the mother company has another core process. We are working for a lot of clients that are our clients, and we have to make for every client their own IT infrastructure, you might say. We work on the applications of our customers. So for us, it's very important to be flexible, to be scalable, because we are going up, high up, and we are going high down. And so the season starts now with that the assurance companies
I'm going to call.
are gonna call, and now we now not double in seats, but I think 30-40% more in seats. So we have our own dynamic, you may say.
Right, so you needed the scalability to scale up and scale down.
Yes.
And you couldn't do that with anything other, because everybody talks about scalability and flexibility, etc.
Maybe it's possible. We did it in the past also in another way, but we want to do it more easy and more efficient. We are working now with fat clients, and we want to start to work with thin clients. And that's why we centralize our environment, and we were searching for a platform to do that. And we have decided to do that with OpenStack. It's new for us. The first 150 seats are over. We have still a fallback scenario, but it's working pretty good. And so I think around 6 customers of us are working now on OpenStack.
All right, so any questions from the panelists? So somebody's, Matt maybe, or Mark, I don't know.
Well, it comes back to something we were talking about earlier. As you went to implement OpenStack, you're coming from a company which was not using anything like that. How much did you have to change the culture to really incorporate the technology effectively?
We will see. We are started with it. It was, you may say, an IT decision. And we hope that we can show the operation that things are going more fast now, and then I do not need a culture change. Everybody will support it, of course.
But you're saying we hope that we're going to change it. Hope is not really a solid strategy, is it?
Hope is beautiful. It's new.
It's new,
and
right.
I heard also in this room a lot of people who have cold water fear, and we are in the middle of it, and it's going very well.
All right, Alan, maybe a question, or Matt, maybe?
I was just going to ask, what applications are you supporting on it? What is running on your OpenStack?
What's running on it?
Yeah, we have Windows Data Center, and for our servers we create on the OpenStack platform. And we work with remote desktop. So that is what we're running. And for all our customers, we make their own profile. And all our customers have an own profile. So let's say 100 agents are working on profile I, 150 agents are working on profile B, etc.
Right. Michel, we have a question. Can we go to the Buzzmaster screen?
Yeah, we have 2 questions. We're all about to say from Remco and Jelle. What drove your decision to go with OpenStack instead of Azure?
Azure, right. What drove your decision? Jelle and Remco say that.
The most important decision was the cost.
Cost?
Yeah, it was for us.
How much does that differ?
In our situation, I do not pretend that I know all situations, but in our calculations, I thought it was the costs were half of the other Azure.
Right.
So it was about when we lifted on the other solution, which was also in our company, it was 500,000 euro each year more than we do now.
Right.
So
okay.
That's a lot of money for us.
So that's cost saving. Very nice. All right. Somebody else wants to react? No. Alan? No, you're just, this is a good example.
Yeah,
huh?
it's a
Yeah,
great
it's a great
example.
example. Everybody's
It's a
happy.
great example.
All right. So, what will your message to the audience be? Because you're trying out, you're experimenting, etc., etc.
Yeah, everyone has to do what he wants to do, of course.
Sure.
The way we are doing it, we do it customer by customer in an easy tempo, you may say. Yeah, we are feeling happy with it. So try it. The performance is pretty good, better than our old systems, you may say. So
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Freek Wijtjes. Thank you. Right, thank you. Heel goed. So for the audience, what are, I'm going to go for Alan. What are the main challenges companies have when they decide to go to OpenStack? What's the biggest challenge?
So the biggest challenge, actually, some of these questions up here hit on it, is education, right? Understanding it's a different platform. Sometimes, as you pointed out here, in these examples, they're changing platforms from different technologies, usually proprietary to open source. So it's information, it's education can be a challenge. Understanding cloud in general, understanding open source, how open source works, what does that mean for their environment?
Yeah, right.
So usually pretty basic questions, but
very important too, because if you have, well, that is an implication, and Freek didn't mention that, but okay, he saves half a million euros a year, but if I have to train everybody, maybe that $500,000 goes up in the air.
Right.
Right.
But
yeah,
the beauty of open source is there's many options there, so that you don't end up spending that $500,000 on the training, because that's been a barrier in the past, going from proprietary to proprietary, right? In many different markets and many different products, is you don't switch simply because of the cost, right, for training and education. But with open source, you have many, many different options, and they all don't cost $500,000.
Right. Okay. Yeah. In Freek, yeah. In your case, yeah, how that work?
the training costs are 10,000 euro, so it's nothing in comparison.
And how many people were there?
4 people.
4 people. Oh, yeah, right. Very expensive hotel. Yeah. Okay. Did I think that, or did I say that out loud? I don't know what that was. All right, so let's go. Thanks, Freek. Let's go for the next one. Next speaker is, he is the Director of System Engineering at Active Video, André Blum. Please, André. Hi, good to see you. Yeah, take it in. So, André, tell me more about
I'm André, I use OpenStack. Looks like an AA meeting.
It's an AA meeting, yes.
Yeah.
Hi, André. I'm André, and I use
everyone.
OpenStack. Hi. Very brave of you to come here to confess. So now we have 11 steps to get you off OpenStack.
11. It's going to take a while.
And my wife works at rehab, so I really know how that works.
Yeah, you seem to know a lot about it.
Yeah. Anyway. So I met her at rehab. This is going AWOL. So what does Active Video do?
Active Video, we're a software company.
Right.
We do streaming of TV, interactive TV sessions, interfaces from the cloud to set-top boxes. So our customers are cable TV companies. Pretty large ones, actually. Largest one is Charter in the US and Cablevision.
Right.
So pretty large companies, 18 million homes. So you could see this as a thin client model for TV, right? Where we run a very small program on the set-top box, and everything is streamed from a data center.
So, and how many people work at Active? Is it big or is it small?
What's big? We're based in Silicon Valley, but all of software engineering is done here in the Netherlands, in Hilversum.
Oh, funny.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Around 60 headcount there,
Right.
of which 30 are software engineers and test engineers.
And how much revenue? You don't know.
I do know.
You
don't
do know,
if
you
it's
don't
public.
Oh, you don't know if it's public. All right. Oh, tell me. So, and when did you decide to go to OpenStack?
We're pretty seasoned. This was a few years back, I think 2013. We hopped on Havana release. And this was at a time where we heard many of our customers talk about cloud platforms. They wanted to go there. They were asking us questions that we couldn't answer, so we really had a knowledge gap, and we wanted to know more. Also, we didn't know exactly sure that our software would actually run at scale on VMs.
Right.
So we needed to try it.
All right.
And the other reason was, as we were growing as a company in number of employees and in complexity of the software, we really were spending a lot of money. We were spending tons and tons on hardware just to keep ourselves busy, to have the environments in small that the big companies had in big. So VMs were a necessity.
All right, so VMs were a necessity, and you wanted to go, you decided to go to OpenStack. What were the other contestants, or was it?
For us, there were none. I think, so as I said,
you did research any?
So I think to understand that, you have, so we're a software company.
Right.
We're really a Linux open source company, right? We breathe Linux. I think many of us were born either with a red hat or a blue fedora, or we're speaking ancient African words meaning, what does Ubuntu mean again? Well, whatever. And there were read bedtime stories from Linux manual pages, I guess. So it's really, it's...
What a youth, what a youth.
Yeah, so open source is what we do. We are really familiar with it. All open source projects that have a good foundation is good for us. It's not a threat. It's an opportunity that if something breaks and no one's able to fix it, you can get your own hands dirty. For us, that works.
Right. So, and were there any objections, or was it just a clean strike? We're going to do that.
It was for us. It was a clean strike.
Right. So, and was it easy to? Because I heard back in the days, installation was quite something. Yeah. And sometimes you had to. Well, the installation was turn it off and then install and then turn it on again. Yeah, but that was something.
Yes. So indeed, installation was very difficult. We thought we were man enough to do it ourselves. Assigned someone to the task, he didn't succeed. Assigned someone else, he didn't succeed. And it's not so much that the installation is so complex. It was well documented even in those days, but there were many choices to make. Do I use local storage? Do I use central storage? What do I do with networking? Are we hopping on this Neutron networking stuff, or staying with the old stuff? And we basically just couldn't make the right choices that we were confident in that would really give us what we needed. So we mitigated that by actually reaching out for consultants, in this case Fairbanks, who helped us pretty well setting it up back in those days, and still help us now and then when we're stuck.
When do you get stuck?
Well for us. Just now and then, right? It's complex software. So there's a good and a bad side to that, I think. The bad side is some things break now and then. We have a pretty large setup for the size of our company, around 20 hypervisors, running around 800 VMs at any time. So that's a lot for a company of our size. And it breaks now and then. The good thing of it is, whatever it is that breaks is more on the interface side. So machines, VMs that you've started up, right? I think we've either never or hardly ever seen that they crash or get down, right?
Michel, do we have any questions, not specifically, but maybe we can pick one out? Yeah. Is that a good, because Philip Hyde, good to see you again. Early adopters want to get away from vendor-specific silos for delivering their IT servers. What's your opinion on adoption rate and multi-cloud tools?
Do you understand the question?
No. Absolutely not.
I guess maybe it's not a good question for me.
Somebody understands the question from Philip?
Ruud does.
Yeah.
Who does?
No, Ruud.
Ruud does?
Good question, Phil, and true in general.
I mean, Ruud does.
Hey, well, Ruud, come to stage.
Where's Ruud?
There's Phil.
So Ruud, where's Ruud?
That's Phil, I think.
That's Phil. Where's Phil? There's Ruud. Yeah. Where's my throw-on microphone? Is it gone?
Stolen.
Fuck. Oh, jij hebt hem nog. Sorry.
Hoi, Tom.
Yeah. Nobody knows. All right. So, you understand Philip very well. That's good.
I hope I do. I work for him, so I should.
Right. You've had your Philip training. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I'm in sales for anybody questioning that. No, the question is about being able to manage multiple environments with the cloud control tool. So rather than working in silos, you got different solutions. OpenStack is one of them. So how do you cope with multiple environments, managing the total platform? That, in general, is the question.
I don't know if Andre is going to answer to this.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not, all right. But Chris was nodding, and everybody here, this side is very enthusiastic. Right.
This is a great question. I mean, the simple truth is most organizations are going to be running private cloud and public cloud going forward. Just get used to it. It's not going to be all or the other. And that poses two interesting challenges. You develop a big data solution. Can you deploy it only on one environment, or have you modeled it in a way that allows you to jump from one environment to another? That's the first problem. That's why we think modeling is so important and why all the big players are already doing that. Configuration management is the automation of something in one environment. Modeling is being able to do it on multiple environments. Second question is, where is the most interesting innovation in the industry happening? We believe in OpenStack enormously. I wrote the first 3 years of the check from Canonical OpenStack Foundation. Not my money, but I signed the PO. But where is a lot of the innovation coming? The innovation will not only be in OpenStack. We think the most interesting petri dish, laboratory dish, in the industry right now is AWS. So the question is, as an organization, how quickly can you bring software from AWS into OpenStack environment? So if your model is specific to a private or public cloud environment, you're not able to take innovation from outside. Right. So just two thoughts.
Matt?
Yeah, the industry, from what I've seen, is of two minds of this. So if you talk to Microsoft, what they would say is that cloud brokering is useless because the broker itself would then have to keep up with all the features that are constantly being developed in all of the clouds at the same time, and it would be an impossible project because they move so fast. The key, though, is, as Chris highlighted there, is workload portability. And you have to balance the desire for workload portability with the desire to use maybe interesting features that are only available in one spot. Right. But the modeling part is absolutely the key to our future. Server administrators, IT administrators need to be managing models, not applications, going forward.
Right. Good one. Andre, your advice for the audience?
I think it's been said before, just start. Start a small stack, play with it, and see that it's organically picked up, as it was in our case. People will love it, will jump on it, and will grow.
All right, great. Warm round of applause. Andre, thank you. Final speaker, yeah, good to see you. Final speaker, next company is in Luxembourg. He's the Chief Data Officer. He works at Join Experience, a European mobile internet cloud provider. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Mossau. Good to see you. So,
first one thing, I'm not the Chief Data Officer.
No, really? So you are the...
Chief Digital Officer.
Really? That was wrong in my briefing.
This is a title that probably got invented by the IDCs and Gardeners of this world. So before I was that, I was an ordinary CIO.
Yeah, I saw that. Because you were 18 months ago, you developed the technical and business architecture for Join to preempt the future. I saw that in your resume. That's correct, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's correct.
Oh, thank God. But first, let's go down to this level. What does Join do?
Okay, so to make it simple, Join is an operator, telco operator, which is active in Belgium and Luxembourg.
Right.
Now I have to explain a little bit deeper. It's a project that was sponsored by the Luxembourgish government. Probably Luxembourg is known by the financial sector of most of the audience. So as you see that is declining, what the government invested into projects which are around data centers, which are around telecommunication lines. So we are having a lot of intention in that area. We are owned majorly by the Luxembourgish incumbent, so Luxembourgish Post.
Right.
And that's also bringing us into the story. They could have done it in their own environment, but they figured out probably, like a lot of people are doing it, that a spin-off is something very exciting if you want to go and invent things. So we are seen as the international brand. So there are additional countries that are coming. So we are the international brand of Post. We are part of Post Group. Post has an excellent network. They have TerraLink, they have fiber lines all over the place. Luxembourg is probably not the most biggest country or whatever, so from installation base or whatever it is, something. So we are seen as the innovative part of Post.
So and can you briefly describe your OpenStack implementation?
Yes, so also there I have to start a little bit earlier. Being that greenfield, having that greenfield situation, and not being in the situation that you say, okay, I have already 9 different services, so I have 9 different billing systems, I have to bring all that stuff somewhere together, is really something that is quite unique in this world. So it means that we started at that moment in the IT to say, okay, how to build a platform that is not something which is good for integrating the stuff, but really being on the next decade. And that is where it all started. We have a very important partner, or we have important partners. One of them is the Chinese company ZTE, because unfortunately the telco world is today ruled about Eastern companies, so it's not so much about the Nokias or whatever in this world. It's all coming from there, so we have a very close link to them, and so we influence also their development. And that's a very important part. It means that we have a better integration with our vendors than others. Now another one is VMware. So when we had to build that platform where we could run any hypervisor, whatever, for whatever reason, we have been worldwide also the first who deployed a virtualized network stack. On Chinese material. That was one of the reasons, vendor independency, so Chinese material. And coming out of that, the OpenStack platform was something that was growing as a platform from bottom up, but the concept was there from the beginning on. Now, it becomes interesting if you're talking about OpenStack. We are talking in telco about standards. So we cannot deal with things like vCloud Direct or whatever from VMware or something like that. We have well-defined standards. And when we started in telco, the entire world was carrier grade, 5 nines, no virtualization at all. And so on. So the first thing that we did against, at that moment, what was seen as usual was virtualizing OSS, BSS systems. Now, 2 years ago, something else happened in telco. NFV was the main buzzword, so the virtualization of telco core functions. And that gives us the possibility to say, okay, we go one step further, whatever, and based on OpenStack, we are able to run also core telco functions on the platform.
So you're actually saying, if you want to be ahead for your competitors, and if you want to try to innovate on the Chinese stuff, you needed to go for OpenStack.
Exactly. And now what happens usually is, and it doesn't matter if it's Chinese or not, NFV is now a buzzword which is coming from all of those different vendors. They all come with their OpenStack implementation. That's what we didn't want. So for us, OpenStack is OpenStack. So we had to convince and to missionary these Chinese guys, look, this is OpenStack. These are the interfaces. You have to support them.
So this is interesting. This is a greenfield situation. That is the dream of every IT guy, isn't it? Just start over again. And that's why he has an easy job. Jan Willem?
He has an easy job, but also a difficult one, because he's at the cutting edge of innovation. So you walk into a first holes a lot of times. Especially, I'm very proud that they chose VMware for a greenfield, because VMware is seen as a legacy vendor for a lot of people, and we're certainly not. We're innovating like crazy. And for them to choose us is a very special thing, and that's mostly because of the things we do in networking, which is much different than the rest of the world.
So, but you are on the forefront of innovation. Which potholes did you step in, and which ones did you nearly cycle in?
One that I already mentioned is vendor lock-in. So it's really something where you have to work hard against it. Now, of course, you can say we have a vendor lock-in with VMware. Absolutely.
There he is.
Correct. But independent of that, we could choose for whatever platform on top, on the bottom. The most important is that we are independent from the service layer in that sense. So that was for us the critical path. And also there, I mean, network is something which is the most important for us, as you can imagine. Even if our platform is something that can provision any kind of subscription. So we started in the beginning with telco and cloud. We added music. We added afterwards energy. So it's something which is a little bit more complex than just purely telco. But telco is still on the core. And the network is on the core. And that is very important to understand. I know we had the discussion about AT&T this morning. I'm sitting with the guys 2 weeks ago in the US. I know what they're doing in NFV. And I also know how far the industry is in that sector. And I can tell you they are running a lot of stuff in their labs. They're running a lot of stuff in the proof of concept path. But for us, a call that you do on the fixed line, for instance, in Belgium, is going to the entire stack. It's going to VMware, vSphere. It's going to NSX. And that stuff has to be rock solid. So the question is OpenStack something that you can use in production? Absolutely.
And the answer is yes.
And if you want to know more about it, we have a session this afternoon here. We also have our deputy CTO here. And even if it's a business session, if you want to come to that session, if you want to know something about really the hands-on stuff, we can make it as technical as you want.
Yeah, the hands-on stuff. Michael Mossel, thank you very much. Great, thank you. Good to see you. All right, we're going to close it down. First, Michel, I would like you to do one more vote. Do you have one original vote?
Yeah, we have one more last, one last one.
One last one.
And that's what's for lunch.
What's for lunch? So you can vote on that. If you got milk, a broodje kroket, a soepje, a smoothie, you want a smoking or vodka martini, you can so you can vote on that. So and for the serious part a little bit, what in a few seconds, what is OpenStack gonna evolve to in the next 5 years? What do you think, Chris?
Standard for private cloud.
Standards for private. Matt, what do you think it's going to evolve to?
I agree with the standard as well as an embedded private cloud in many instances.
Right. Jan-Willem?
Finally get out of the way of developers.
Finally get out of the way. And Alan?
The platform. It's going to be the platform.
The ubiquitous platform.
The ubiquitous platform.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, warm round of applause. Alan Clark, Chris Tangen, Jan-Willem Lammers, Mark Breckman, and Matt Foley. Thank you very much.